So this poll came out, I think, 2 days ago, right? We were talking about this with Tom Leger, I think the first day it came out. And basically, a lot of people are waiting with two things that are interesting in the poll. Number one, based on everything that's been happening with the CAQ, post the Quebec City tunnel that never happened, the education issues, the healthcare issues, it's been a lot of stuff that apparently, they call François Legault the Teflon premier. It seems, well,
For
despite
reason,
one poll that showed support was slipping, that apparently is over. A new poll that has just come out shows, in fact, the CAQ picked up a point. So we thought we'd get Jean-Marc Leger, founding president, CEO of Leger Marketing, to kind of explain it to us and tell us what this potentially means. Mr. Leger, thanks for being here today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So do we make a lot of the fact that the CAQ went up a single point or not?
Oh, no, it's a margin of error. But last month, as you said, they lost 4 points across Quebec and 14% in Quebec City. So it was a tough month for them. But this month, they stabilized. So they stabilized at 37%. 37% they lead in Quebec, but you still have 63% of Quebecers who vote against them. But because they have four other parties who oppose to them, that gave them a huge lead in Quebec. Yeah. The other information, it's 53% of Quebecers are satisfied with the current government. So that means this 37% is still solid.
Okay. And the real story in this poll, though, is the PQ, is it not?
Yeah, same thing last time because, currently it's the only alternative across Quebec, outside Montreal particularly. So they obtained a low 15% in the last election, but now they climbed to 23% across Quebec. They are what we call the paying zone. So every percentage over 32, 33% means a lot of seats if we have an election today. So the PQ is becoming more and more the alternative for the government outside Montreal, of course.
I wonder because when we saw that number, the PQ number go up, it's not so much by how much it went up, it's the fact that they've moved ahead of Quebec Solidaire, and people look at this and go, wait a sec, are we seeing a resurgence here for the Parti Québécois?
Yeah, that's a possibility, but at the same time, they're far from there. But Quebec Solidaire, they have 16% of voting intention. That's exactly what they obtained at the last election. So for them, it's difficult to move, partly outside Montreal. They are really strong in Montreal in some urban place, but not elsewhere. The issue is also for the Liberal Party. It's a tough time for them. They dropped to 13% of the vote with a starving rate of 4% among French-speaking. 4%, it's close to the margin of error.
Have you ever, I think historically it's never been that low, has it?
Oh, never at low at 4%. But not only among French-speaking, but also among non-Francophone. Only 44% of non-Francophone vote for the Liberal Party. Remember when Jean Charest was there, it was 91% the last election with Jean Charest, and with Philippe Couillard, it was 80%. Now the non-Francophone voters are orphaned. They vote 44% for the CAQ, but some of them, 23% vote, not for the CAQ, for the Liberals, 22% for the CAQ, and some of them vote for Quebec Solidaire, other for the conservative provincial Quebec Party. So they don't have any the same relationship they had with the Liberal Party for ever.
Yeah, and that's, of course, what we've been talking about for the longest time now, right? We had Marc Tanguay on the other day trying to explain why this might be happening. This was the day before the poll came out.
I think he's a big part of understanding why this is happening. An interim leader is not a leader. And so ultimately, as we keep hearing, the Liberal Party ends up feeling like a rudderless ship. They need a leader, and they need a leader who has charisma. Now, Éric Duhaime, the leader of the Conservative Party, Quebec Conservatives, continues to kind of keep he sort of carves out a little niche for himself there. Although 9%, what do you make of that, Mr. Leger?
Well, it's more and more difficult. It's more and more regional party. It was people was against the government and only in the Quebec region. So it's difficult for him. The credibility is not there. You will see tomorrow, Saturday, we'll publish a poll concerning the popularity of all the politicians in Quebec, and it will not be good news for him either.
Interesting.
So can I assume from that little snippet you're talking about that poll tomorrow, without giving necessarily everything away, do you see much change in there from the last time to this time as far as popularity with the leaders?
Oh yeah, but you have a lot of things happen over the last year, so you will have a direct impact because we tested not only the provincial leaders but also all the politicians at the provincial level, the federal level, and mayors across the country. So it's really interesting also to measure that.
I bet. So all of that is coming out on this coming Saturday.
Saturday, exactly. Saturday, but you talk about Marc Tanguay. It's important because, the Liberals Party lost interest. Currently, they fall into indifference. When we ask to the non-Francophone voters which leaders you will choose for leading the Liberal Party, we tested 9 names, so all the names. And 66% of the non-Francophone could not even choose anyone.
That's so telling.
Out of that. So they don't care. Marc Tanguay comes first, but with 13%, 13% of the vote, and Mara Risky, she's the second one with 6%. So they really have a leaders issue.
Yeah, they have a big look. That's absolutely true. And as I said, it's something we've talked about. I have one other question with respect to the PQ and the fact that they've moved ahead of Quebec Solidarity in this poll. Do you get the sense, or are you planning to do a poll on whether separation, which everyone thought was over and done and died, is in fact in the minds of people?
Still there. 37% of the population could vote for separation at this moment. So if the PQ has 23% of the vote and 37% vote for sovereignty, it's possible for them to continue to grow. So it's still there. It's not their first priority. Sometimes it's in the reaction of what would happen. For example, with the law 21 or the French law, you could have that kind of reaction, because that's not the first choice of Quebecers to separate from the rest of the country, but you still have more than 1/3 of the population who could say yes. So, this is a never-ending story.
Well, and if we're seeing the PQ popularity increase, that's very telling as well. I wonder if that means the CAQ tries to step up their nationalist approach a little bit.
Oh, you're so right, because now their main adversary is the PQ, so they will change the speed, they will change their position, because it's dangerous, because the PQ compared to the Liberal Party, Quebec Solidaire, or PCQ, they are more regional party now. The only real national party in Quebec is the Parti Québécois. So that's outside Montreal, you have a competition between these two parties. So the trend is there. The PQ is the only party who gained point since the election. All the others lost ground.
I will ask, though, if we're talking about this idea of separation, you mentioned 37% are yes, we would. Quebec Solidaire, that's in their platform as well, right? The separation issue. They want to do the same thing, yet they don't seem to be getting any traction.
Yeah, but what the bizarre thing is, you have 40% of the CAQ voters who said they could vote for the separation, and only 35% among the separatist party, Quebec Solidaire. Oh. So, 2/3 of Quebec Solidaire voters vote against the separation. So it's not a truly separatist party.
That's so
It's so interesting, isn't it? Yet when we had Gabriel Nadeau-Dubois on, because, the thing we've noticed in the past is he comes across really, really well, especially, in English. He speaks terrific English. And then at the end of the conversation, after all the great ideas, we say, but separation is still part of your platform. And of course it is. And he has to say that. And that, I think, turns a lot of people off.
And you should know, we get a ton of texts of people saying, I would vote for this guy except for.
So there you go.
Exactly, and that's the main issue for him, partly among non-Francophone. It's an issue in the party, but they have to name another spokesperson. The debate on the separatism will be important at Quebec Solidaire, because when you have 2/3 of the voters who said they're against separation, it probably be an internal debate really soon.
Mr. Leger, I want to thank you so much. I always appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jean-Marc Leger of Leger Polling. And there's that poll. CAQ, 37% up 1 point, but the PQ moving up ahead of Quebec Solidaire into second place.
I love talking to him. Yeah. He always drops these little nuggets that are so eye-opening, and now I can't wait to see that poll on Saturday.
Yeah, me too.